guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a suspender dress for a little girl, and this is the style I'm going to be showing you here. This is the style. Sorry. So let's get into the video. So first I'm going to make the bottom, and the bottom of this dress is going to be circle. So what you have to do is to first fold your fabric the way you want it to be. So this is the fabric wide open. I've already made one, just so you could see. I've already made one here, and then this is the top part with the ruffle. The fabric wasn't enough, so I decided to just add a little bit of white to it. So as you can see, so this is the back here. So here I added just a little bit of white as the rope, and then use this color as the ruffle, and then also use the white as the back. So this is elastic at the waist. This is what it looks like, the front. So this is for a 9-year-old, and the one I'm going to make now is for a 1-year-old. So first, my fabric, this fabric, I open it up wide this way, and then I fold it by 4. So the way the fabric is folded this way now, I'm going to fold it one more time this way, right? So I folded it into 4 places because I'm about to cut a circle. So the first thing I have to do is to check what the full length of my dress would be. So what I have to measure now, guys, is what the full length of this dress I'm making is supposed to be, right? And then I'll subtract the shoulders from if I get my full length. Let's say the full length of this dress is 20, right? So to get this part of the dress, which I've folded here for, what I'm going to do is to subtract from the shoulder to the waist. Let's say it's 5. So I'm going to subtract 5, which is this shoulder to the waist, from the total length, which is 20. That will give me 15. So the 15 is what I'll use as the bottom of this dress. So at the end of the day, when I add the 5, which is the shoulder to waist, plus the 15, it will give me 20, which is the total length of the dress. So to cut the bottom of this one here, after folding the fabric the way I folded it now into 4 places, the full length of my dress is going to be 20.5. And then 20.5, if I subtract it from the shoulder to the waist that I talked about, the shoulder to the waist for this particular one is going to be 8.5, and that will leave me with 12. So 12 will be the length of the bottom of the dress. So I'll keep the 12 aside, and then I'll measure round the waist of the person, round their waist. And the round the waist I'm using for this is supposed to be 6.28, 20 meaning the waist. So the waist, round the waist is 20 divided by 6.28. That will give me 3.18. And then I'm going to add 2 to that as my seam allowance, right? If I add 2 to it, it will give me 5.18, but I'm going to round it to just 6 on the dot. So now I'll have 6. I'll come to the end or to the edge where I folded this fabric. I'm going to be sure to mark my 8, right? So 8 is here, and then plus the 12 inches that I got as the full length of the dress, the full length of the bottom of this dress is what I'm going to add to this 6. So 6 plus 12, that will be 18. So I'll make sure that this fabric that I folded can contain 18 inches. So here is the 18. And then remember, I still have to fold the end of this, and then also have half an inch to attach the circle to the dress. So I need to add 1.5 to the full length. So that will give me 18 points. That will give me 19.5. So 6 is where my waist will start, plus 12 inches, which is going to be the length of the dress. That will be 18. 18 plus 1.5 as my extra seam allowance, that will be 19.5. So this is folded exactly at where it should be, 19.5. So now I'm going to just make my mark here. So from here I'm going to mark 6 all the way. From this end I'm going to hold it here and then mark 6 as I go. I'm going to mark my 6, here, and then after that I'll make sure to make the line even more visible. So this is also 6. Okay. The next thing I'm going to mark now is my 19.5 from this end here. So here I'm going to mark as I go. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and cut the end and then cut the waist. Like I said, this is supposed to be for a 1-year-old. That is why it's this short, like 1-year-old going to 2 years. So, and if I open it up, this is what the bottom would look like. And if I was going to use zip for it, I wouldn't have added like excessive, like added 2 inches to it. But since I'm going to use elastic at the back, because I want to use elastic at the back, because you know kids always, they grow faster and they wouldn't want to use zip. So I'm going to use elastic at the back. That was why I made it this that was why I added few inches, just to make the waist even wider. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the top part. And to cut the top, I'm just going to take the remaining fabric that I have. As you can see, I don't have much of the fabric left. So I'm just going to fold it into 2 this way. So it's this way, and then I'm going to fold it this way. And then I'm going to check my shoulder to waist. So now I'm going to cut the top part, right? It's supposed to be 8.5. Okay, so that will be, I'll add 1 inch to the 8.5. That will be 9.5. So sorry, my shoulder is going to be at this length here. The shoulder to waist, 8.5. If I add 1 extra inch to it, that will be 9.5, because a half an inch for attaching here and then half an inch for the bottom. So the next thing now is to check the shoulder, which is 8, and then I'm going to mark 8, which is 8 divided by 2, that will be 4. I'm going to mark here, and then the next thing is to come down this way and mark the, I'm not going to mark any armhole. What I'm going to do is just to come down this way and give it 1 inch, half an inch or so, because an adult, you would normally come down by 1 inch. So for the neck, I'm going to make it 2 inches here, and then I'm going to come down by 2 inches also. So this will be 2 by 2. So, and I'm going to mark it here. So this will be the neckline, and then I'm going to mark to join this half an inch that I made here. The armhole I'm working with is supposed to be 9 by 2. That will be 4.5. So here and then here. So this will be like the armhole. But if you remember, I'm not working with it's just going to be a suspender, so it's supposed to be like square. It doesn't have any armhole to work with, so I'm just going to mark it straight down from here. So that means, or I'm just going to give it like a little room for extra seam allowance to fold it with. So if I mark it down here at the point of this line, I'm then going to give it half an inch for folding it, which is this extra line that I gave it here. So now I'm going to cut it. I don't need the bust measurement because it's not going to cover all the way around. It's just supposed to be in front. So now I'm going to cut. So normally people would just cut it square the way it is now. Just cut it square this way. So no room for the armhole, but I want it to cover just a little bit more in case the person decides not to wear a vest underneath it. So that was why I gave it just a little room by the side. But when I go to fold it now, I'm still going to fold it this way and then fold it this way, right? But you notice if I had cut it here, then I will even go in even more. And remember, this is supposed to have a ruffle on top, so that was why I gave it extra room by the side to fold it with. And then I'm also going to use like a piece of cloth to fold the end here. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut my ruffle. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and cut the rope. This will be the belt as this one here. So this is what I'm going to use as this here. I used, by the width, I used around 5 inches is what I used for this, because that way when you fold it like this, then you take away half an inch, so you have 2 inches left when you fold it. So this is this, and then this here is what I'm going to use as the ruffle. This ruffle you see here, and this here by the width is 3 inches. So this is what I'm going to use for the ruffle. So now I'm just going to go ahead and attach this and come back. So guys, I've finished. I went ahead and attached this top and this the front part of this, and as you can see, I also gave the ruffle on one side. If you look here, you could see that I folded the end. I just folded it to the back, and then I gave space here so that when I go to attach, what I did is that the thing I'm using for the ruffle, I folded the end and then left one end free. So when I go to fold it, what I'm going to do is just fold it this way, and then the side that I already folded, like with normal stitch, will be facing outward, and then the side that I folded once will be facing inward. And then I'll put it on top here, make room here, right? Excuse me, please. Okay, I'm just going to leave it this way, so that when I'm done, I'm going to tuck it in. As you can see, this side is also tucked in, so I'm going to tuck this one in too, and then I'm just going to fold and then stitch, fold and stitch. Just that was how I did this. As you can see, I just pleat it, and then keep sewing. Even down to here, you could see the pleat. So what I do is make sure to tuck this end in, and then I'll just keep on pleating it, and then pleating it up till where I want. Like, I'm going to make a mark here, just so I can know where I stopped on this end. So that's how I'm going to go, and I'm going to go on the center of this white part. As you can see, I went ahead and made the white and then attached it here. And then the remaining part of this skirt, I also attached the white piece here, so that I can use it to pass the elastic. I just divided this skirt into like 2 and made sure that the front part was less, so that I will have enough room to pass the elastic. So when I pass the elastic now, this will look even smaller. So I'm just going to finish up with the ruffle and then come back. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and attached the ruffle, and this is the side here, and then this is the back. And see how I made the white part. So I made sure to stay at the center, so that when it's on the shoulder, it falls this way. So at the back here, because I know you'll be thinking what will be the loop for this at the back. So at the back, what I did was just at the same place I attached this white thing, what you have to do is just to attach something like this, right? It's just like I got like a piece of cloth like this, right? Folded it this way and then made something like this, folded it into two, right? And then it made this loop, and I attached it somewhere here on two sides, right? I made sure to put one here and one here. As you can see, this is one, and then this is the second one. This is the way it's attached. So the way I made this ruffle was I just made two lines. After attaching this here, I made one line on top of it. So when you pass elastic at the center, it gathers on top here. So now, because this here, after attaching it, it was almost like this here. So the only way you will get this ruffle is instead of leaving it like this, I made another stitch on top, right? I made another stitch, like I made one stitch here and then passed my elastic at the lower one and left the top one free. So leaving this top one free made it in such a way that when I pass the elastic, it gathers this top part, and that is what gave me this ruffle. So after that, now what I have to do is to just pass my belt. So guys, as you can see, I've passed it through the loop, and then this is what it should look like when you're done. You can make it cross, you can make it one side, and then you tie the belt at the back. It depends on how you want to make yours. I'm just tying it this way just to show you guys. So this is what it looks like at the back, and then this is what it looks like at the front here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. Bye.